Come, come, whoever you are welcome here. No matter your age, your size, the color of your eyes, your hair, your skin, you are welcome here. No matter your gender, whom you love, how you speak, or whatever your abilities, you are welcome here. No matter what you have experienced in the past, no matter what awaits you in the future, you are welcome here. Whether you believe in God all of the time, some of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. This is a community of open minds, loving hearts, and willing hands. Good morning. Welcome to South Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. My name is Becky Condas, and my pronouns are she and her. I am a mid-50s white woman wearing a gray trans rights are human rights shirt. And it's my privilege to serve as the worship associate for this morning's service. Our worship leader this morning is Cortney Bouldin. Announcements? There are no announcements. You're free. No. Please read in the happenings what's going on, and if you are not signed up for happenings, there's a QR code at the front, or any of us could help you after service if you'd like. That's where many of the goings-ons excuse me, are listed. So, instead of announcements, let's take a moment to fully arrive. Let's start with turning to our online community and giving them a wave and a welcome. And let's take a moment to greet each other.
Our opening hymn is 1067. Please rise as you're willing and able. Thank you. You may be seated. My name is Court. I'm a tall, middle-aged man with a purple sweater and Eric Carl socks. Ask me about the socks after church. They're great. Tuesday is the Trans Day of Visibility. I wanted to say Trans Day of Remembrance, but that's in November. So Trans Day of Remembrance is a day where we remember the people that have left us. The Trans Day of Visibility is a joyful day where we remember all the contributions that trans people give to our lives. What it means to live authentically. We remember what it means to live grounded. And so we want to take a moment to honor that. I'd like to invite Lauren up to read a poem. This poem was written by Andrea Gibson. Thank you, Lauren.
Hey, I'm Lauren. I'm a 40-year-old trans woman with a very green dress. And I will try not to cry during this. Love Andrea so much. Queer youth are 5 times more likely to die by suicide, by Andrea Gibson. Means you lived 5 times harder than you should have had to still have a body when you graduated high school. Means hate worked 5 times harder to make your spirit its wishbone. Means when your mother asked what was wrong, you were 5 times more likely to believe you'd lose her if you spoke the truth. Means you were told 5 times more often you'd go to hell when you died. Means burning for eternity seemed 5 times more doable than another day in the school lunchroom. Means you were 5 times more inclined to triple padlock your diary. Means you are 5 times more likely to stop writing your story down. Means there are many days I thirst for my own silence, but walk through the desert screaming instead because I, like most of my queer friends, don't have a child. I have millions. From Nebraska to Chechnya to the Baptist church where I grew up. My pride in them is a pride I know won't keep them all alive. But I keep cutting my diary into confetti to throw at their hopes when they float by, scared or furious or laughing or in love and desperate for the headline to say, queer youth are 5 times more likely to offer to walk their younger siblings home from school, to notice the different accents of sparrows, to find an eyelash and spend 20 minutes trying to pick what to wish for. 5 times more likely to never outgrow blanket forts, to know there is a word for the scent in the air after it rains, to see lifelines look like telephone wires and call a friend who's having a bad day. 5 times more likely to adore the last man who walked on the moon just because he wrote his daughter's initials there. To know there is no universe in which they would not be proud of their own children. Queer youth are 5 times more likely to see you how you dream of seeing yourself. To write something in your yearbook that will get you through the next decade. To spot a stranger crying and ask if there is anything they can do to help. 5 times more likely to need us to do the same.
Thank you, Lauren. We're going to turn our focus to the chalice now. It's time to light the chalice. I'd like to invite Jenna up to help us light the chalice. You can rise if you'd like. You can stay seated if you'd like. But we're going to recite our chalice lighting words. They're printed on the screen. and in your order of service. And if you're online, you can write "Chalice is lit" and the name of your street in the chat box on Zoom. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, for the light of truth, and for the energy of action, and the flames of resistance. And now we invite those that are young and young at heart to come forward for the time for all ages.
So I have never met most of you before. This is my first time for all ages. My name is Becky. And I have a story to read you called When Aiden Became a Big Brother. Who in here has a big brother, is an older sibling? So, what do you think this story might be about?
A brother.
A brother?
Or a sister.
You're right. We don't know yet. What do you think? Yeah, you do, huh? Yeah.
Does my dog count or no?
I think dogs count.
Okay, then
What do you think?
it's probably about an older brother, an only child getting a younger sibling.
That's a good guess. Let's see. Okay, When Aiden Became a Big Brother by Kyle Lukoff, illustrated by Kaylani Juanita. When Aiden was born, everyone thought he was a girl. His parents gave him a pretty name. His room looked like a girl's room, and he wore clothes that other girls liked wearing. But as Aiden got bigger, he hated the sound of his name. He felt like his room belonged to someone else. And he always ripped or stained his clothes, accidentally, on purpose. Everyone thought he was just a different kind of girl. Some girls had rooms full of science experiments and bug collections. Lots of girls didn't wear dresses. But Aiden didn't feel like any kind of girl. He was really another kind of boy. It was hard to tell his parents what he knew about himself, but it was even harder not to. It took everyone some time to adjust, and they learned a lot from other families with transgender kids like him. Aiden explored different ways of being a boy. He tried out lots of names and one stuck. They changed his bedroom into a place where he belonged. He also took much better care of his new clothes. Then one day, Mom and Dad had something to tell him. "I'm going to have a baby," Mom announced. "A baby?" Aiden said. "Does that mean I get to be the big brother?" "Of course," said Dad, ruffling his hair. Aiden thought that being a big brother was an important job for a boy like him. He wanted to make sure this baby would feel understood right away. The baby needed clothes, so Aiden and his mom went shopping. There were so many choices. Would the baby like seahorses or penguins better? What do you think? Seahorses? Penguins? "Are you having a boy or a girl?" asked a lady. Aiden didn't like when people asked if he was a boy or a girl, and he hoped the baby wouldn't hear yet. He was glad when his mom just smiled and said, "I'm having a baby." baby's room needed to be painted, so Aiden and his dad went to the hardware store. Dad chose a gallon of sky blue paint, and Aiden added a puffy cloud white. "Are you excited for your new baby brother or sister?" asked the painter guy. "I'm excited to be a big brother," Aiden said. The paint guy looked confused. Aiden could tell that he wanted to ask a different question and was glad when his dad was there. The big rollers were fun to paint with. "This room feels just like being outside," Aiden exclaimed. He had always felt trapped in his bedroom before they fixed it, but his new sibling wouldn't have to feel that way. "You're right," said Dad. "Let's make some shapes in the clouds." Every baby needs a name. Aiden loved getting to choose his own, but he remembered that it had been hard for his parents to let go of the name they gave him. He looked for names that could fit this new person no matter who they grew up to be. Babies need someone to read to them, so Aiden practiced and practiced and practiced. Dad wanted to teach Aiden how to change diapers. Maybe later, said Aiden. He decided that picking flowers for his mom was more important. Who would rather pick flowers than change a diaper? That's okay.
I wanted to be.
Yeah. 2 weeks before the baby's due date, Aiden started to worry. Maybe he should have picked different clothes. The blue walls might be too bright. He wished he could ask the baby which name they liked best. Mom came to tuck him in. "Are you feeling okay, sweetie?" she asked. Aiden put his hands over where he thought the baby's ears would be. "Do you think the baby will be happy with everything?" he whispered. "I don't want them to feel like I did when I was little. But what if I get everything wrong? What if I don't know how to be a good big brother?" Mom hugged him tight. "When you were born, we didn't know you were going to be our son. We made some mistakes, but you helped us fix them. And you taught us how important it is to love someone for exactly who they are. This baby is so lucky to have you, and so are we." The next morning, Aiden found the boxes of his old baby pictures. He looked so different back then. It hadn't been easy, but he liked the boy he was growing into. Maybe everything wouldn't be perfect for this baby. Maybe he would have to fix mistakes he didn't even know he was making. And maybe that was okay. Aiden knew how to love someone, and that was the most important part of being a brother. The end.
I almost fell inside there.
We can get it out in a second, okay? So what I take away from this is sometimes we make mistakes, but the most important thing
Yes.
is to try to fix them and not do it again. And that's okay. But Aiden's gonna love his little sibling, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's important,
I
is
wish I
love.
can have a pink face.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's what I've got for you today. So now we can head downstairs.
But my
And
mama's
yeah, let's get it. Oh. Did you get it?
Yep.
Okay. This community, our church, and its many ministries are only made possible by the gifts you give of your time, your talent, and your treasure. Many of you pledge monthly to support our work, and for this we are grateful. Your gifts help to ensure that we are able to live our values of love and justice in the world outside. This is the 5th Sunday of the month, so our offering will be split with the Samaritan Fund. The Samaritan Fund is a discretionary fund that Reverend Laura uses to assist community members as requested and needed, so please give generously as you can. Please join me in reading our offertory words. They are printed in your order of service. We are this church. We are its hands, its heart, its voice. Together we share the wealth of this community and sustain it with our gifts. We will now accept the offering. For those at home, you are invited to use the giving link in the online order of service. I invite the ushers to come forward at this time. Thanks for the gift of your donation and for what this will mean for the Samaritan Fund. Having honored the light of our community, we now honor the light, the bodies that carry that light. It takes a lot of emotional energy to show up for the big issues in our world, and sometimes the best way to recharge is to stop and pay attention to the basic things that sustain us. As we shift our focus from the big picture of our community to the small physical miracle of the food we eat, please remember that for many, our relationship with our bodies and eating is complicated. This is an invitation, not a requirement. Please take care of yourself in whatever way feels the most grounding today. To help slow us down and marvel at this nourishment, I invite you to listen to the poem From Blossoms by Lee Young Lee. From blossoms comes this brown paper bag of peaches we bought from the boy at the bend in the road where we turned toward signs painted peaches. From laden boughs, from hands, from sweet fellowship in the bins, comes nectar at the roadside, succulent peaches we devour, dusty skin and all. Comes the familiar dust of summer, dust we eat. Oh, to take what we love inside, to carry within us an orchard, to eat not only the skin, but the shade, not only the sugar, but the days, to hold the fruit in our hands, adore it, then bite into the round jubilance of peach. There are days we live as if death were nowhere in the background, from joy to joy to joy, from wing to wing, from blossom to impossible blossom, to sweet impossible blossom. In our busy lives, we often treat eating as a chore or something to do while multitasking. But when we rush through a meal, we're often rushing through our lives too. If we can learn to slow down for just one bite, we might find a way to slow down and be more present in everything else we do. To practice this, we're going to share a simple food meditation together. Our ushers are going to come around now with small boxes of raisins. Please take a box for yourself or to share one with your family. I'll ask you to keep them closed until everyone is ready so that we can start our practice at the same time. Online community, please take a moment to grab something small to eat, maybe a raisin if you have it, or whatever you prefer. And let's use this transition time to settle into a space of quiet, readying ourselves for a different kind of encounter with our food. If everyone is ready, please take one raisin each from your box. Let's ground our bodies. Place both feet on the floor. Take a deep breath in and let it out. First, take the raisin and hold it between your pointer finger and thumb. Bring your attention to it, as if it were a novel item. Imagining that you have never seen one before in your life. Take the time to observe the raisin carefully. Really see it. Gaze at it with full care and attention. Let your eyes explore every part of it, noticing its shape and color and surfaces. Examine its grooves, where the light shines and shadows. Rotate and move the raisin between your fingers, continuing to explore the texture. Apply a bit of pressure to notice whether it's soft or hard. You might close your eyes if you feel comfortable, if that helps you to focus and enhance your sense of touch. Recognizing this is a raisin, note any thoughts you might have about raisins, any memories about them, or feelings of liking or disliking them. Hold the raisin under your nose. Inhale naturally. With each in-breath, notice the aroma or smell that arises. Bring awareness also to any effect in your mouth and stomach. Now, bring the raisin slowly up to your mouth, noticing how your hand and arm know exactly how and where to position it. Be aware if you are salivating as the mind and body anticipate eating. Place the raisin gently in your mouth without yet chewing. Hold the raisin in your mouth for at least 10 seconds, exploring it with your tongue, feeling the sensations of having it there. Notice this pause and how it feels to take some time before eating the raisin. When you're ready, prepare to chew the raisin. Take 1 or 2 bites into it and notice what happens, bringing your full attention to its taste and texture as you continue chewing. Take the time to chew without swallowing, noticing the taste and texture of the raisin in your mouth and how it might change over time. When you're ready, swallow the raisin. Bring awareness to the sensation so that even this is experienced consciously. Lastly, notice what is left of the raisin as you swallow, and it travels down to your stomach. Notice how your body as a whole is feeling after completing this exercise.
Food is marvelous, isn't it? It can be messy, it can be practical, it can be sensual, and it can be literally and metaphorically life-giving. And also, isn't it a joy to share a bite with friends? When I started thinking about this service, it was around Silly Hat Sunday. One of the jokes that stood out to me most from that lovely service was from a child. She said, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, that you should never trust an atom because they make up everything. That joke really resonated with me, in part because of the wonderful delivery, and also in part because I spent a huge chunk of my professional life in and around biology classrooms. So I know a little of the science behind the joke. With the next 10 or so minutes, I want to summarize thoughts and feelings that I've collected over 20 years of studying biology about how food connects us to the earth and the cosmos in ways that might not feel intuitive. Biology is a vast field, the study of life. It's the study of life, so one's interest can go anywhere where there is life. My area of focus was always on the molecular side of biology. If you're not a sciencey person, molecules are made of elements and elements are made of atoms, so there's a connection to the joke. I spent most of my studies focused on the molecular pieces that make up life. More specifically, my training highlighted the processes that give us energy, help us grow, help us take shape and procreate. And I also studied how, when repeated, these processes allow for the diversity of life on Earth. I learned early on, even before school, that our energy comes from food. I remember my mom telling me that if I ate spinach, I would be strong like Popeye. This is true. Food gives us energy. But what I've picked up along the way is it's not the whole story. The molecules that are connected to make up our food are the same molecules that we have inside of our cells. I remember realizing in a profound way that all of life on Earth is composed of similar molecules. What a thought. Every living thing that you've ever seen has, at its core, similar molecular puzzle pieces. For each individual, the puzzle pieces are assembled in ways to make a unique picture. But the material and the connections between the materials are the same. When broken down into component pieces, the DNA in my cells is no different from the DNA in bacteria, a tree, or a raisin. I find that to be an incredibly connecting thought. We are at our core similar to every other living thing on Earth. I am unique and organized differently, but the pieces are universal. Everyone and everything is grounded in the same molecular stuff. In fact, molecular similarities are probably what make a raisin suitable as food. My taste buds recognize that the small raisin can be broken down into smaller pieces, and those pieces can be repurposed. When I sit with this for a moment, I think about how the raisin had a similar path. Before it was dehydrated and put in a box, it was a grape on a vine that grew from a seed. The grape needed its own atoms from other places, like air, water, and soil. The soil is composed of atoms that came from decomposing plants and bacteria, which each had their own journeys, and so on and so on. Biology textbooks are filled with cycles which are rich with interdependences. Each step of a cycle relies on the previous step. Everything is connected, and nothing is wasted. Molecules are disassembled and reassembled into some new and unique form, a delicious raisin depending on your tastes, a bar of chocolate, bread. But on the tiniest scale, they're all made up of little pieces that are making their way through a cycle. So when the tiny pieces of our raisin, or to the online audience, whatever you had at home for this exercise, collide with our bodies and connect, those molecules aren't actually starting a journey. They're continuing one. Our bodies are the next step on their journey. Some pieces may stay with me for a short time. Some pieces, like pieces of DNA that make their way into my brain, could be with me for the rest of my life. Where did those molecules come from? If they're passed around, where did they start? The short answer is that we don't know for sure. But the longer answer is that they have been here since the formation of the planet. All these little pieces cannot be created or destroyed. They are conserved, so they must have a history. We don't have tools to track all the places that our molecules have been, but that doesn't mean we can't imagine their story. It's not hard to imagine pieces of me predating human history or the Jurassic era. It's not my arms or legs, but the atoms. They make up everything, and they always have. That feels special. We think of history as something that's out in the world. It's an ancient castle, a monument, or a sacred space. The atoms in our food have a history too, that can be traced back to a time before life on Earth. The atoms are newly organized to make fresh food for consumption, but they came from someplace before that, and from another place before that, all the way back to the Big Bang, 13 billion years ago. This is a reflection about food. And for me, these stories bring up a search for authenticity. As a former biologist, there were things that felt inauthentic to me. In other words, I felt pressured to be things that I am not naturally. For a time, it was okay. I could contort myself. But eventually, I longed for something more, an authentic life. I find it tempting to hide behind other people's expectations. We're social creatures. And on some level, it feels natural to have these impulses. And yet, it can become a habit to try to anticipate the needs of other people. I can think of times when I've unbalanced myself to match other people's needs at the expense of my own. I've gotten lost in that. I've moved on from the practice of biology, but I remain a reverent fan. And when I think about my connection to food, I feel grounded and worthy of claiming my needs. Of course I should take up space. I'm a walking, miraculous mix of star pieces. The food that has nurtured my body has traveled a long way to meet me. And somehow that makes my authenticity easier to claim. I love South Valley for being a part of my journey as I search for my authentic self. And I have extra love for my trans friends. In the now of my life, I find myself refreshed by authentic people. And as I have started to gravitate toward authenticity, I have noticed how surprisingly rare it is to know people who know their own truth and are comfortable living it. When a person feels strongly and hopefully supported enough to come out and claim their truth, I find this to be its own kind of magic. It's not just star stuff, but sparkly, shiny star stuff. And I'm so grateful to be in community with people who lift me up and help me see that an authentic life is not a someday thing. It's a dream I might realize now. You nurture me, and I thank you for it. Let's sing. The closing hymn is 1053. Oh, thank you. Thank you. The closing hymn is 1053. Please remain standing as we extinguish our chalice. The words are in your order of service, and you're invited to say them aloud with me. We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. We hold each other in our hearts until we meet again. Please find grounding this week and authenticity, especially on Tuesday. Spend a little time learning about the beautiful ways that trans voices have touched your life. You may sit down for the postlude.